I was parked outside the martial arts studio. Engine off, windows cracked just enough to let in the cool evening air. The kid was still inside finishing class. I had 10, maybe 15 minutes to kill. That's when my phone buzzed. Lena, still slammed at work, babe. Sorry again. Can you grab dinner for him too? I stared at the screen, jaw tight. She worked at a logistics firm. A decent job, regular hours, nothing crazy. But she'd been slammed at work more times in the last 2 weeks than I could count. And it was always when I was watching her son. I tapped my GPS tracking app, not to spy, but because I'd installed it months ago after she locked her keys in the car and needed me to ping her location. She knew it was there. Her car was parked on the other side of town. Not at her office. Not at any client site. It was at a 2-story condo off Miller Road. I zoomed in on the map. Unit 304. I knew that place. It belonged to her personal trainer, Alex. Suddenly everything clicked. That dude had been floating around her life way too much. Comments on her Instagram like, "Crushed that set today, fire," or "You're killing it lately," and the way she always mentioned him in passing like he was just some professional contact. Yeah, no. Too casual, too frequent. I stared at the pin on the map. Her car hadn't moved in over an hour. She wasn't working late. She was lying. I took a screenshot of the message she sent. Then another of the GPS location. Then I cross-referenced the address just to be sure. Same place. Same Alex. My hand clenched around the steering wheel. I didn't go full rage, not yet. But the disappointment hit hard. I wasn't shocked, just done pretending something didn't feel off. I'd ignored the signs before. The phone flipped face down every time I walked into the room. The sudden gym selfies on her lunch breaks. Her saying she needed space to find herself. But only when I brought up future plans. I took a deep breath and locked my phone. The dojo doors opened, and her son walked out grinning, sweaty hair plastered to his forehead. "Hey, I got my stripe." I forced a smile. "Nice, man. That's awesome." He high-fived me and jumped into the passenger seat, buckling up without missing a beat. "Can we get pizza?" "Yeah, sure," I said. My voice sounded normal. My hands didn't shake. "Let's grab dinner." But in my head, everything had already shifted. The plan was forming. I just needed time. We got back to the house a little after 7. I let him pick the movie while we ate pizza on the couch. He passed out halfway through some animated karate thing. I carried him to bed, pulled the covers up to his chin, and turned off the light. Then I grabbed a beer, shut the door to the office, and opened my laptop. First stop, Facebook. Alex's profile was wide open. No privacy settings, no lockdown photos. Classic meathead. Shirtless gym pics, flexing in mirrors, captions like "grind mode" and "no days off." There were at least a dozen selfies with women from the gym. But Lena showed up the most. She was in the background of one post, clearly leaning on the squat rack, smiling up at him. Another had her tagged, "Beast mode with Lena today, flexed biceps fire." That one had heart emojis in the comments. She replied, "You push me harder than anyone else, winking face." My stomach turned. I clicked into her profile next. It was cleaner. No obvious clues. She had good judgment. Not smart enough to cover her tracks, but slick enough to make it look innocent. But then I noticed the timestamps on her tagged posts didn't match where she claimed to be. I pulled up my GPS history. She'd been at Alex's place last Thursday from 12:30 to almost 3. She told me she had back-to-back meetings all day and couldn't text much. The week before that, same pattern. Tuesday, at his place from 11 to 1:45. She said she had a dentist appointment across town. I opened Google Photos, mine, not hers. I'd taken a picture of her that night after the supposed baby shower. She was wearing this pale green dress with gold hoops and her hair curled just right. I flipped back to Alex's page. There it was 2 weeks ago. Same dress, same hair. She was standing in his kitchen, half turned away from the camera, laughing while holding a glass of wine. Caption: "Perfect recovery meal with the best company." No tag, just her face and that damn dress. I pulled every screenshot into a new folder on my desktop. I labeled it Truth. Dates, times, photos, location logs. I wanted it airtight. Then I paused. There was one more angle. I went back to Alex's page and scanned the comments. A woman named Teresa kept popping up on older posts. "Proud of you, babe. Can't wait for vacation." Her profile picture was of her and Alex, dressed up at a wedding. I clicked her name. Her page was more locked down, but the bio said, "Fiancé to my best friend. Mama to our little boy." I stared at that for a second. She deserved to know. I didn't overthink it. I typed up a message, kept it clean, simple, and direct. "Hi, Teresa. I don't know you personally, but I think you need to see something. I'm dating someone who's been seeing Alex behind my back. I have photos, GPS logs, and texts. If you want the proof, I'll send it. No drama, just the truth." I attached 4 screenshots and hit send. My heart was pounding, but not from nerves. It was rage. Cold, focused, and ready. This wasn't guessing anymore. It was evidence. And I wasn't letting it go. It didn't take long. Maybe 15 minutes after I hit send, I saw the typing dots pop up. "Teresa." I knew it. I knew something was off. "Can I come talk to you in person? I'm not far." I didn't hesitate. "Me? Yeah. I'm home. Come by." I opened the front door and left the porch light on. Then I sat on the couch with the TV muted and stared at the screenshots I'd already seen a dozen times. The folder sat open on my desktop like a loaded gun. 10 minutes later, her car pulled up. She was maybe early 30s, hair pulled back, face clean and serious. No drama, no screaming. She just looked tired, the kind of tired that comes from pretending not to see something right in front of you. I opened the door. "You, Teresa?" She nodded. "You the guy dating Lena?" "Yeah," I said. "Come in." She stepped inside and stood by the entryway. I didn't offer coffee or water. We both knew this wasn't a visit. It was business. "I've had a gut feeling for months," she said, opening her phone. "Alex got weird after New Year's. Started hiding his phone, working out more, coming home late smelling like perfume that wasn't mine. I didn't say anything, just waited." She pulled up her own receipts. Texts, DMs, one blurry photo of him with another woman at some bar. I thought it was just that girl. But now this? Lena? That's 3 women at least. Maybe more. I handed her my laptop. "Here's what I found. GPS logs. Photos. The night she told me she was at a baby shower, she was at his place." Teresa scrolled through everything. No shock on her face. Just this cold, mechanical nodding like her brain was finally catching up with what her heart already knew. "Do you have a kid with him?" I asked. She nodded. 4-year-old. "He's asleep at my sister's place tonight." "You gonna tell him?" "Eventually. Right now I need to think. But I'm not letting this slide. Not again." She closed the laptop and looked at me straight on. "Thanks for telling me. Most people would have stayed quiet or just taken it out on Lena." I shrugged. "I'm not most people." She let out this sharp little laugh. Not amused, more like impressed. "You're calm as hell. That'd scare me if I were him." She tucked her phone away, gave me one last nod, and walked out. As soon as the front door shut, I locked it. I didn't know what Teresa was going to do, but the way she walked out, no panic, no tears, told me she was the kind of woman who made things hurt without ever raising her voice. I turned off the lights and checked my phone. Another text from Lena. "Lena, I know it's late. I'm still at work. Just getting caught up." I stared at the screen for a second, then typed back. "Me? You're not at work. Let's talk when you get home." And I left it at that. I kept the house quiet after I sent that text. No music, no TV, no lights except the one in the hallway. I wanted her to walk into that silence and feel it. Around 10:20, I heard her car pull into the driveway. Slow, hesitant. The front door opened a moment later. "Hey," she called out, like everything was normal. "Sorry I'm late. It's been a long day." I stepped into the living room doorway. "We need to talk." She froze when she saw me. Her purse slipped a little off her shoulder before she caught it. "What's going on?" "You know what's going on." Her smile twitched. "What?" "No, I mean," I held up my phone. You weren't at work. She blinked fast. What are you talking about? Yes, I was. I opened the screenshots. Location data. Her message. The pin at Alex's condo. I handed her the phone. Don't lie to me again. She stared at the screen too long. Long enough that I knew she recognized the address. Then she forced out this weak laugh. This is a glitch or something. My phone's been weird lately. No, I said. You've been weird. And sloppy. Her face tightened. So you're spying on me now? I kept my voice flat. You knew the app was on your phone. You asked me to put it there. She shoved the phone back into my hand. I wasn't doing anything wrong. Lena. She looked away, jaw clenching. Where were you tonight? I asked. Work, she whispered. Try again. Something in her broke. She threw her purse onto the couch and crossed her arms. Fine. I was at the gym. Alex wanted to go over my form on some lifts. It wasn't a big deal. I opened another screenshot, the photo from 2 weeks ago. The green dress. His kitchen. Her smile. This wasn't the gym. She stared at it, lips trembling. Then she shook her head. Okay, stop. Just stop. Her voice cracked, and tears rushed in like someone had flipped a switch. I'm sorry. I'm stressed. Everything's been so heavy lately, and I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't move. Stress didn't put you in his condo. She wiped her eyes with the back of her hand. I needed to feel alive again. I've been trying so hard to keep everything together, and you're always so calm and collected, and I just wanted someone to, I don't know, make me feel something. Not an excuse, I said. Her crying got louder. I made a mistake. People make mistakes. You made a choice. My voice didn't raise. I wasn't interested in yelling. More than once. She stepped closer, reaching for my arm. I pulled back. She froze like I'd slapped her. Don't do this, she whispered. Please, we have a life. You're like a father to my son. I'll always care for him, I said. But I'm done with you. She shook her head violently. No, we can fix this. I'll block him. I'll quit the gym. I'll do whatever you want. Just don't end us. Please. You ended us when you walked into his place the first time. Her knees buckled and she dropped onto the couch, covering her face with both hands. Please don't throw me out. I don't have anywhere else to go tonight. You can stay until morning, I said. But you're packing your things. She kept sobbing, saying my name over and over, like repeating it might change something. I didn't sit down. I didn't comfort her. I just stood there until she realized I wasn't bending. Finally, she pushed herself up and stumbled toward the guest room, still crying, still begging under her breath. I watched her go. Then I turned off the hallway light and closed the door behind me. The next morning started quiet. No shouting, no door slamming. She just walked past me with her eyes swollen and red, dragging a duffel bag and her laptop case. I didn't speak. I didn't offer to help. She didn't say goodbye. By the time I finished my second coffee, my phone started buzzing. Justin from work. Yo, you hear about Lena and that gym guy? Brent, mutual friend. Dude, Teresa's Facebook post. It's going viral. I opened the app. There it was. Teresa Johnson. Loyalty isn't optional. Screenshots speak louder than lies. Below the caption, for clean, brutal images, Lena's texts, her flirty comment to Alex, the GPS screenshot, and the photo in his kitchen. No names blurred. Nothing censored. The comment section was already a war zone. Dozens of likes. People tagging each other. I didn't say anything, didn't like it, didn't share it. I just watched it unfold. By noon, I had 4 more texts from people I barely talked to. Bro, is this real? Wait, that's your girl? I always got weird vibes from her. I muted my phone and got back to work. I had invoices to finish and a sales meeting to prep for. Drama wasn't gonna pay my rent. Around 3, I stepped outside to grab lunch from the food truck. That's when I saw her. Lena. She was standing next to my car in the lot, sunglasses on, hair pulled into a sloppy bun, holding her phone like she was waiting on an emergency call. Her whole body looked shaky. I walked right past her. She stepped into my path. "Can we talk? I'm at work." "I know," she said, already tearing up. I needed to explain. I didn't respond. "They're attacking me online," she said, voice cracking. "Calling me names, posting memes. My friends are ghosting me. I'm being slut-shamed over something that's none of their business." I let out a breath and looked her dead in the eye. "No one made you cheat. I know that, okay? I know. But it wasn't supposed to blow up like this. That's the thing about choices," I said. "You don't get to control the fallout." She took a step closer. "You don't care? Not even a little. I care that you hurt your kid. I care that he has to live with what you did. The rest? That's not my problem." Tears spilled over. She didn't wipe them. "You think I deserve this? I think this is called accountability." She shook her head, laughed bitterly, and backed away. "You're loving this, watching me fall apart. It makes you feel big." I didn't flinch. "I'm not enjoying any of this, but I'm not saving you either." She opened her mouth like she wanted to scream, then closed it, turned, and walked fast toward the street. She didn't look back. I stood there for a second, watching her disappear around the corner. Then I went back inside, grabbed my lunch, and got back to work. 2 days later, I got a text from Ray, a guy I used to lift with who still worked the front desk at Alex's gym. "Ray, bro, Alex just got suspended. Teresa went scorched earth." I called him right away. "Not fired?" I asked. "Not yet," Ray said. "But HR locked him out of the system this morning. Board's meeting next week." Teresa filed formal complaints, said he was using his role to get with clients. A few others came forward too. I sat back in my chair, staring at the wall. "Damn, that's not all," Ray added. 3 clients canceled their packages yesterday. 2 more today. One of them said they won't train at a place that protects predators. I let that word sink in. "He's flipping out," Ray went on. "Showed up today unannounced, yelling about being set up. Said people were conspiring against him." "Did he say my name?" "Didn't have to," Ray said. "Everyone knows." He tried storming into the manager's office. Security escorted him out before he could start swinging. I didn't respond, just let him talk. Teresa emailed screenshots from both of you to every one of his clients and sponsors. Even the wellness brands he does those dumb supplement videos for. I almost laughed. She's not playing. Not at all. She's filing for full custody, too. Already hired a lawyer. After I hung up, I scrolled back through my texts. Nothing from Lena since she cried in the parking lot. Until that afternoon. "Lena, you ruined 2 lives." I stared at it for a second. No greeting, no build-up, just that. I replied without thinking twice. "Me? No." I exposed 2 choices. That was it. Nothing else needed to be said. A few hours later, Ray sent me a blurry photo someone took at the gym. Alex standing outside the doors, red in the face, arms flailing as 2 security guys kept him back. He looked unhinged. Not the confident trainer from Instagram. Just a guy whose world was crashing around him, and no one was rushing in to save it. Teresa hadn't posted again, but people were still talking. Screenshots were circulating in group chats and fitness forums. Someone found his Yelp trainer profile and started flooding it with 1-star reviews. I didn't touch any of it. I didn't need revenge. I just wanted the truth to land where it belonged. By nightfall, Lena texted again. "Lena, you made everything worse. For everyone." I almost ignored it. But then I thought of her crying while her son slept in the next room, none the wiser. "Me, you made your decisions. I gave people the facts. That's not revenge. That's reality." She didn't answer after that. I plugged in my phone, turned out the lights, and let the quiet settle in. The storm had moved on, but the wreckage was still hers. By the weekend, Lena switched gears. No more guilt. No more tears. Now I was the villain. She told people I'd hacked her accounts, that I was obsessive, controlling, that I made up the screenshots to destroy her reputation. I heard from a mutual friend that she called me unstable and dangerous. Said I was weaponizing technology because I couldn't handle being dumped. I didn't react, didn't argue, didn't post anything wild. I logged into Facebook and made one calm, boring post. For those who've asked, I didn't hack anything. I didn't doctor screenshots. These are real messages, real timestamps, and real photos, taken from public profiles or apps both of us had access to. I'm not here to debate, only to clarify. The rest is between us. Underneath, I attached 4 images. The GPS screenshot, the baby shower lie, her comment on Alex's post, and her own message asking me to watch her son because she was working late. No captions, no hashtags, just facts. And it worked. Her story cracked within hours. People started commenting, asking questions, quietly removing her from group chats. Even some of her close friends stopped liking her posts. 2 of her old gym buddies messaged me privately to say they weren't surprised. She always had a thing for attention. One of them wrote, I didn't respond to any of it. Just let it burn. Then, a couple days later, I got a call from the school. The principal's office. Hi, is this Brandon? Yeah, I said. What's going on? I'm calling about Mason, she said, Lena's son. He listed you as his emergency contact. We had a situation today where his mom couldn't be reached. My stomach dropped. Is he okay? He's fine. Just bumped his head during recess, nothing serious. But he specifically asked us to call you. Is this something you're still comfortable with? I didn't hesitate. Yeah, of course. I'll stay involved. He's important to me. Thank you, she said. We just wanted to confirm. After I hung up, I sat in the parking lot outside my apartment, holding the phone in my lap. I hadn't thought about what came next, not really. I'd been so locked in on the fallout, on watching it all unravel. I hadn't stopped to realize I was still a piece of this kid's life. And whether Lena liked it or not, that part wasn't changing. The next morning, I called the school back and scheduled a meeting. Brought in a letter stating I'd be available for pickups and emergencies. Even though I wasn't the legal parent, they added me to the file, no questions asked. When I left the building, I got another message. Lena, I hope you're proud. You're turning everyone against me. I didn't even open it. The truth didn't need a reply. It was just past midnight when I heard the banging. Not a knock banging. Wild, sloppy, open palm hits against my front door like someone didn't care who else they woke up. I opened it a crack and saw her. Lena, hair a mess, mascara streaked, breath full of vodka and desperation. She was barefoot, holding one heel in her hand like she forgot what shoes were even for. Can I talk to you? She slurred, blinking slow. No, I said. You need to go home. She leaned against the doorframe, trying to steady herself. Please, I need to talk to someone who gives a damn. I gave a damn, I said. You burned that. I didn't know what he was really like, she said, swaying. Alex, he's not who I thought he was. I didn't say anything, just watched her unravel. She looked up, eyes glassy. He hit me, she whispered. We were arguing. He blamed me for losing everything. Said I was a distraction. A mistake. My jaw tightened. Did you call the cops? No. It wasn't, he didn't hit me hard. Just he shoved me. Screamed in my face. I stepped outside, closed the door behind me. She tried to touch my arm. I stepped back. Don't. Her face crumpled. I thought you'd care. I thought you'd help me. I'm not your out, I said. You don't get to break something and come running when the next thing breaks you. Tears poured down now, fast and messy. I messed up. I know I don't deserve anything from you, but I've got no one. My phone's full of people who won't answer. I pulled my phone from my pocket, tapped for a ride. I'm calling you a cab. I don't want a cab, she snapped. I want you. I want this to stop hurting. Please let me in. You need help, I said. But not from me. She backed up like I slapped her. So that's it? You're just done with me? I was done the night I showed you the proof. This is you hitting rock bottom and trying to drag someone down with you. The cab pulled into the driveway. She turned toward it, then looked back one more time. "I still love you," she said. I didn't answer, just stood there while she got in the car, still crying, still mumbling into her hands. After it pulled away, I locked the door, silenced my phone, and went to bed. But she didn't stop. 1:12 a.m. "I'm sorry." 1:34 a.m. "I love you." 2:08 a.m. "Please talk to me." 2:45 a.m. "You're all I have left." I didn't respond to any of it. By morning, she was silent. I made coffee, sat on the couch, and watched the sun come up through the blinds. My phone buzzed again, not Lena this time. "Teresa." I picked up. "Hey," she said. "Just wanted to say thanks. My lawyer's filing the final papers today. I'm getting full custody. And I'm finally free of him." I let out a breath. "Good. You deserve that." She was quiet for a second, then said, "So do you." I didn't have anything to say back. She didn't need me to. She hung up, and I went back to my coffee. The storm had passed, but I wasn't standing in it anymore. Later that week, Lena texted again. Not late at night, not emotional. Just a simple message. "Can I see Mason? I miss him. Please." I stared at it for a minute. Then I called her. "I'm not keeping him from you," I said. "But if we meet, it's in public. I stay the whole time." She didn't argue. "Okay, that's fair." We picked a park near her apartment. Sunday afternoon. The weather was decent, gray clouds, cool air. A few families scattered across the grass. I brought Mason's football and a small lunch. When we pulled up, she was already sitting on a bench by the playground, arms folded, watching the ground. He ran up to her first. "Mom!" She smiled, stood, hugged him tight. "Hey, buddy. I missed you." I stayed back, gave them space, but not too much. Sat at the picnic table nearby, phone in my pocket, eyes up. After a few minutes of small talk, she looked over. "Can we talk for a sec?" she asked. I nodded. "Sure. Keep the ball close, Mason." He jogged to the open grass. Lena sat across from me. She looked healthier, less puffy, more clear-headed. Still tired, but calmer. "I'm not gonna beg," she said. "I know it won't work." "Good." She let out a dry laugh. "Fair." There was a pause. Then she said, "I messed everything up because I thought I could handle it. The attention, the lies, the cover-ups. I thought I was smarter than the consequences." I didn't say anything, just let her talk. "I liked feeling wanted," she went on. "Liked being chased. And I convinced myself I could juggle it all and come out clean. Until it blew up." "Yeah," she said. "Until it blew up." We sat in silence for a minute. Then I said, "I don't hate you." Her eyes lifted. "But I don't trust you," I added. She nodded slowly. "I get that. I'm not here to punish you. But he's my priority now. Not you." "I know," she said. "And you've been good to him. Better than anyone. Including me." That was probably the most honest thing I'd ever heard her say. She looked out at the field, watched Mason toss the ball to himself and miss. "Do you think I'll ever earn back that trust?" she asked. I stood up, dusted off my hands. "That's not what today's about." She didn't press it. No begging, no tears, just a quiet nod as she stood beside me. When it was time to leave, Mason gave her another hug. She kissed the top of his head and whispered something I didn't catch. He ran up to me, grinning. "Can we get milkshakes?" "Yeah," I said. "Let's go." She watched us walk to the car. No drama this time, just her standing alone in the grass. That night, while Mason was finishing his homework at the kitchen table, I got a text from Teresa. "Teresa." He tried to message me again. "Blocked. You were right." I didn't reply right away, just looked over at the kid, bent over a spelling worksheet, chewing the end of his pencil like it owed him money. That was the only message that mattered. Sunday morning, I was flipping pancakes when Mason wandered into the kitchen in his Spider-Man pajamas, rubbing his eyes. He climbed up on the stool and sat there quiet for a second, watching the griddle. Then he said, "Are we gonna be okay?" I didn't flinch. just slid a pancake onto his plate. "Yeah, bud," I said. "We're gonna be more than okay." He nodded like that was all he needed, then drowned the stack in syrup like a man with no rent and no consequences. After breakfast, we went outside. The sky was clear, cool breeze cutting through the early sun. He grabbed the basketball and I let him take the first shot. "Still can't beat me," I said. "You cheat," he fired back. "Life's not fair, kid. Might as well learn it in the driveway." We played for maybe an hour. No phones, no noise. Just the sound of the ball on concrete and his crooked little laugh when he actually sank one. Lena had been quiet for days, kept her distance. No surprise visits, no midnight texts. She seemed to finally understand the new rules. Alex was gone. Moved out of town, last I heard. Probably somewhere nobody knew his name or his gym scandal. Not my problem anymore. I'd gone on 2 dates with someone from work. Nothing serious. Just coffee, good conversation, no lies. It felt weird to smile with someone new, but not bad. I was locking the garage when my phone buzzed. "Lena, thank you for taking care of him." I stared at the screen for a second, then typed back. "Me, always." That was it. No tension. No chaos. Life wasn't perfect, but it was finally quiet. And for once, that was more than enough.